25% of a working body.
Needing for the to sustain that 25%.
Okay.
I had a good yogurt.
Yes, it's following me. Then the camera is following. It's good. So let's go back to this.
Jude 1.
Yes, the Jude.
You want me to
Judge.
read that? You want me to read that?
Yeah, Jude 1:6.
And the angels who did not keep their proper domain, but left their own abode, he has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day.
The same concept, reserved for the judgment that is going to happen, the great day, reserved there. What I want you to take off is this: not every demon is on earth. Not every one of them are here. If every demon that were sent to abyss were on earth, the earth will have been a mess, completely a mess. So they have a fourth residency there. They might request permission to come. They might come here, but we still have authority over them. Our final authority over them is ours. If we want to send them back to abyss, to their pit, we send them and they go. They cannot refuse. That's their abode. That's what their residency is. That's where they need to end up. Go ahead.
So they were sent to hell, and then we invited them out of hell onto the earth. Adam and Eve did.
We didn't invite it. It was not human initiative. When Lucifer came and tempted Eve, it was not human initiative.
We allowed it then.
We allowed to be tempted and failed to his temptation.
So they're not there because they're here, or they're both there?
First of all, Adam and Eve were to protect the garden. That was the job God gave them. And Lucifer was, he changed himself into a snake. And we think, well, why he chose the snake? Because snake was very present in the Garden of Eden, not in the form that we know today, but was present there. So they didn't feel him as an intruder. So they need to protect the garden from this intruder. So Eve didn't reject him from the start, from the get-go. That's why he didn't come as Lucifer or as anything threatening. Because the instinct of doing what God told me to do would have kicked in, and Eve would have cast him out. But it was just a snake, a regular. Also, what we need to understand is that for Lucifer to be allowed from where he is sent to hell to come to earth and tempt Eve, he needed permission from God. So there was a request made by Lucifer to God, allow me to do it. And based on the principle of the kingdom of God, that is freedom, and God paid the ultimate price for that freedom, for our freedom, the freedom of creation that he gave. Based on that, then yes, we see how his argument makes sense. However, again, remember, before the cross, Lucifer was on the bench of defender. That means all eyes were toward him. And he was trying to prove his point in more than one way. And one way he requested to prove his point was to tempt Eve and Adam and Eve. And that's how he got there. But it was just one temptation, one time, and not coercion. They were not coerced. God said, don't coerce them, don't force them physically, don't do anything, don't threaten them. And Lucifer obeyed and did it the way he did. I also want you to understand that he prepared a lot for that moment. He was not just in the moment. Oh, let me, God, would you allow me? Boof. And he was there. No, he was, first of all, between the request and the approval, a lot of time passed. That's one. And meanwhile, he's preparing himself. He's trying his best to get there and make sure that he wins. So he won. He was very ready and very prepared there. The point I'm trying to make here is, why in the world was God, you see that human vocabulary is limited to express God. Why would God agree to the proposal of Lucifer? Okay, Lucifer said, yes, I need to go there. I need to tempt them as I tempted the angels in heaven. They need to make their choice just like the angels in heaven have been made their choice. And 1/3 of them are with me, 2/3 are with you. So in the same way, now he is your creation. He needs to be treated equal. So I need access to talk to them too and present another alternative. Their choice. Why was God talking into agreeing to that? What made God to agree to Lucifer? Because he knows everything from the beginning. He knew exactly what happened. He knew that Adam and Eve are going to fail. He knew what we see and experience today. He knew it. Why will he agree? It's about his children. It's about his family. He's walking with them every single day. It's not like the forgotten family there. No, he's actively involved in the life. And he still said, yes, okay, go ahead. The same kind of story that we see with Job. Why is God agreeing with such a thing? A request coming from Lucifer. Why is it? And probably the story of Job gives a little answer. The fact is that there were other witnesses. What we read in Job we read that the sons of God gathered together. Who are the sons of God? The leaders of the entire kingdom, the leaders. And now there is this discussion. And Satan says, may I? And now everybody is watching. So God said, yes, go ahead. Lucifer is saying to God, may I go to Adam and Eve? Someone is watching, always watching, because God is transparent. He's not hiding behind doors and walls. He's transparent. So he knows at any time, any given time, someone is watching. Now, I know some of you have a problem with the idea of an elect angels, a group of specifically assigned, elected by the other angels to have just this responsibility. They are not involved in the kingdom business and affair anymore. All they do is to represent the angels and watch what's going on in this conflict. Is their elected representative to do that. That's their job. And God knows. So when Lucifer asks, hey, on one hand, God, in any way, he needed to allow Lucifer to do it because freedom of choice is a principle in the kingdom. Second reason is because these angels were watching, the elected angels were watching. So, yes, Lucifer was allowed. The fall of Adam to his temptation changed the leadership and the rulership of the earth, transferred it to Satan. And then once Satan has a domain and an abode, he's now entitled to invite the others. And that's how demons came about.
What would have been the repercussions if God said, no, you can't tempt?
Will accentuate the doubts in the hearts and the mind of the angels, the 2/3 that remain faithful to God. They were not 100% sure in their mind that God is absolutely right and Satan is absolutely wrong at that point. So one action like that of God will have made the angel that remain faithful to him to say, that's something is fishy here. Why is he trying to hide? Why is he, So that will have made it worse, not better. So God said, okay.
Of what's going on from then till now is this trial of is God good or is he not good?
Yes.
Is Satan evil or is he actually the good one?
Yes. However, God didn't need what happens on earth to defend himself. The fact that Adam failed to the temptation of Lucifer brought everything that is happening here on earth to what it is, and we became a part of that demonstration. But that was not God's plan, absolute plan. God didn't need that. He could have taken another turn to demonstrate that. He could have done something else that didn't involve the suffering and the pain that we humans experience into the process of Satan demonstrating his points and stuff. It was unnecessary, but we came about, yes.
Okay, so we have angels in heaven, and not all of them are convinced that God is the righteous one.
Yes.
Isn't that simple?
How do I know that? Because at the end of the end of the end, the declaration of all the angels is, you are righteous. Righteous are all your ways. not before. It's only after all this happens,
Mm.
only after they have seen everything, only after they concluded, oh, now we know all your ways are righteous.
Mm.
Until now, we were, but now we know it.
The
Yes.
question now is, the fallen angels, are there any from those that came to the conclusion, oh, wait a second, we were wrong,
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
but they can't get back to heaven?
Yes. And you'll see Mel Gibson trying to address that in the second part of the movie called The Passion of Christ. He's preparing that, and I got a little information. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to address the issue of what Jesus did for those among the angels that repented. They concluded, you're right, Satan was wrong. We were wrong to take his side.
When he went to Hades, he preached the
Yeah.
gospel unto them.
Yes.
And some of them were convinced.
Which, by the way,
They
is a
would get-
quotation. It's a quote from another
Really? Full agreement?
book.
What she just said?
It's in the Bible.
No, I'm good. I just wanted to make sure that was.
Hmm?
So he preached to the captives in Sheol or wherever they were.
Yeah.
Those were angels.
Yes, while he was
Fascinating.
dead. While he was dead on in his
They weren't.
he went in the
Yeah.
place of death. He went in the place of death because he was in the place of death.
Human
And even
spirits
there
too.
he was active as a savior.
Mm-hmm. Human spirits too, across the 4,000 years.
Hmm?
Were there humans there too?
Yes, because it's mentioned the people who died of the flood.
Mm-hmm.
They are
Yeah,
mentioned
that's what I was
into
gonna say.
being the target of his ministry in that time. Again, that passage is questionable by so many Christians question that because it's actually a quote taken from another book that doesn't exist in the Bible.
Mm.
It's an excerpt.
Mm-hmm.
Excerpt.
Which one? You know.
There are two that could be possible. One is very close, a quotation pretty much word by word. The other one is approximate. So I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel at liberty to say is this one or is that one.
I'm fine with it.
Anyway, it's one of the books that are not in the Bible,
Mhm.
and he quotes that. Can we go back to this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The angels who did not keep their proper domain. What is a domain and how the domain is different than abode?
The abode is where they live, and domain is what they have authority over.
Yes. So when you discuss about a kingdom, you discuss about a king domain.
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom, that means king domain. So the domain is something that someone has authority over. So this is about authority. Abode, what is abode?
Where you live.
Yes, it's about residency, a place where you are allowed to live. You are entitled to be in. Okay? So when a demon possesses someone, two things happen to that person. The body becomes an
abode,
and their
domain.
Yes, keep that in mind. That's why they talk. They affect the speech center in their brain, and they speak on their behalf because they have the domain. It's important to notice that demon takes everything is given to them.
Mm.
While humans, we are so behind with that. To us, God gives us so much, and we get so little of it.
Mm.
We don't take everything that is given to us. And that's why we're in this mess. That's why we're in this situation. If we'll have used every single thing that God has given us, Satan will not have been conquering everywhere on this planet Earth. Regardless if you are a Christian or not, you still have power over demons. That's the beauty of it. Regardless if you are a Christian or not, just because you are born of Adam, you have authority, domain over your body. Because domain of the work of God's hands in your body is part of that work of God's hands, was given to Adam, not to Christian in Christ.
Mm.
So every person in this planet has authority and domain over Satan because they have domain over the earth and also have domain over their body. They could have cast out the demons from their body but no one believes it. We don't take what is given to us. They do. Even in their worst state, fallen state, they still do. Once they take one person, makes that body an abode and manifest dominion right away, as if it's natural to them. We know to manifest dominion. Oh no, oh no! It takes us years and years and years, years and years, and we fight the most with ourselves, with our mind, with our heart. Something is telling us, no, 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 no. Be humble, be humble. No, no, no. Don't do that. No, no. Take what is given to you.
Religion.
Yeah.
So, real quick side note to that point: businessmen who,
Speak a little
yeah,
louder.
businessmen who exercise the dominion, or kingdoms or governments, or someone who takes authority over their body and then makes their body well, or you have doctors who are taking authority over disease through science and stuff like that. It's in humans innately
Yes.
to express dominion over things.
Yes.
And that's the point that you're making, is
Yes.
that we,
He
But
created
we
us
train
rulers.
animals, lions to obey, bears
Yes.
to obey us.
Yes.
So that's an expression of dominion.
Rulership is in our DNA. It's put by God at creation. Have rulership. That is, when He spoke, that became our nature.
But then you
We
have
are
people who are
rulers.
casting out demons, but it says, you cast out demons, you prophesied, you did all this, but he says, depart from me, I never knew you. So
Mhm.
they're manifesting dominion
Mhm.
because it's in them, but like they don't get to be with Jesus forever because they
never accepted
they
him.
never accepted him, never were born again.
Yeah. Now, last part of the verse in Jude is that they were reserved in everlasting chain under the darkness for the judgment of the great day. Judgment of the great day is referring to the moment when the execution of the judgment takes place. The judgment was given when they were reserving in the darkness. God said, you have trespassed. You have done this. I asked you to worship. You didn't. That's high treason. Go. That's the judgment of God. Then Satan said, no, 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 let me bring more argument and blah, blah, blah. And evidence is okay. Go ahead and do it. So the process of judgment. But there will be an execution of that judgment. And that execution takes place in that day. But who is the ones that judges? First of all, is God. God judges. No, He's the judge. But Apostle Paul is saying, don't you know that we are judging angels? What is he talking about? We are going to judge the angels. So who are going to be the judge? We are going to have a part on that too. And our sentence is going to be reflected in the final judgment on the day of God. So we are going to have a contribution in the end of Satan and every evil, be it angels or people. We are going to have a say on that. We are going to judge them. Judge the angels, judge the people. Paul says, judge the angels, judge the people in the same verse. We have the authority to do that. And we are called to do that. He said, don't you know? Now, by saying that, he is, first of all, he's referring to the fact that they should know by now. That means that was told them. That was said to them in the past. Am I right?
Mm.
Don't you know? Yes. That means I have told you. Why don't know that? You should know that. Also, compare that with the fact that Paul said, I went to the third heaven, I seen things that I cannot and I'm not allowed to speak about. That means he knows things that they are not necessarily written in his books. He might make reference, but not directly. He never expressed them directly. He might refer to them in his writings. He might make a point in the light of something that he knows and we don't. And we are like, what he's saying here? He's making a point, knowing that, but we don't know that. We just see what point he's making. So we kind of have a hard time understanding what he's saying there. And Peter himself said, yes, Paul's writings sometimes are hard to be understood. That's a given. So keep in mind that when he visited the third heaven, he learned more than he could say. However, the fact that he said, don't you know that we are going to judge angels? That's a little revelation for what you learned in heaven. A little bit, a bit of that revelation. The fact that in Revelation, we are also told in Revelation chapter 20, that we are going to judge. That we are going to judge. We are going to judge. And then the fact that the great judge, God, comes into the picture, and then his judgment day is to send fire that comes from the throne, his throne, and destroy them. That's him taking upon the conclusion of the judgment that people have made, the saved ones made. When they judge the angels, the evil angels, and the people, the evil people, they judge both. They came to the conclusion. That conclusion is taken by God, and the decision is okay. So we all agree? Yes. Why is that important? Because that's exactly the, the goal of God in allowing Satan to continue, even though he didn't kill him in the moment when he rebelled. He didn't kill him in the moment. He allowed him to, so that everybody agree that whatever God decided about Lucifer was right and was just. You might get in heaven, and here on earth, your wife was so sweet, such a sweet lady. She did everything. She prayed, she sacrificed, she did it. You'll be in heaven, she will not be. You have a lots of questions. That's not easy. So you need access to there, to the books. See, what happened? You can't live an everlasting life with this doubt in your heart. I know that my wife should have been here. Why? I don't know why it's not here. I know God has the right to decide. I know that. I know He is absolute sovereign. I know He gives life. I know everything. However, in my mind, I think she was supposed to be here. You can't live an everlasting happiness having doubts. So what you need to judge. You need to be participating in that. You need to be directly involved. You need to have direct access to these books, the books of remembrance, the book of life, the book. See, was the name of my wife written in the book of life of the Lamb? Yes, yes, she was baptized. Yes, her name was written there. So why is not here? Well, go to the book of remembrance. Oh, let's see what. And a book in heaven terms is not what we think. It's not. It's not even a computer with a
data.
No. The book of remembrance, imagine the book of remembrance more like a mechanism, and now this is, take it as a proposal. Don't take it as a go to the bank with it, okay? The book of remembrance is like a mechanism in which you step in. You are witness without altering that life. You cannot alter, you can intervene, you cannot communicate, all you can do is watch, but not watch what was written, report it. Because if I am in the position and I'm a husband and my wife, my sweet wife is not there, okay? And it's handed to me a report made by angels. I read the report, and the conclusion of the report made by the angel is, yes, she deserves to not be here in heaven. I turn around and say, but the reporter, maybe he was biased. You know, maybe he was so in love with God that he wanted God to be right. So he wrote the report so that at the end, God is right, my wife is wrong. So I still have questions. So what God does with the book of remembrance is actually putting you in that life. You witness every second, every decision, but you witness something more at that point. And that is the thought of the heart and the thought of the mind, which when you are a human, you didn't have access to that. When you are a judge, you do have access to that. So now you are witnessing everything on real life, and you are witnessing the entire life. You stay there 1,000 years to just do that. How much is a life of a person? And you stay there 1,000 years to just conclude that. So you stay there and you go into the book. I'm saying you go into, you don't read it. Okay, you go into the book of remembrance, and you are part of the life as it is, as it was of your wife, from the beginning to the end, with the thoughts and hearts and everything. You learn everything. You cannot step in, because it's just a remembrance of it. It's not the it. It's not the life. You participate there, you are witnessing, but it's not life itself. Your wife is probably in the cemetery, at that point. But you are there witness, and you see everything. It's not the conclusion of a report made by someone. At the end, once you experience that, you come out of that experience and you say, righteous.
God is just. And that's the truth.
It's not going to be easy, but you have to take God over your loved ones. When you see it with your own eyes, when you hear their thought, when you hear their desire of their hearts and everything they did in the way you never had access to, and you realize and see things the way God sees them, because that's why He gives you that ability. Oh, you want to understand why I said no? Okay, here's what I saw, and you didn't. Get all the facts. He had just this access to these facts. I have access to all the facts now. I give you for this purpose, for judgment purpose, I give you access to all the facts. Go ahead. What is your conclusion? Righteous. You are righteous. All your ways are righteous.
It's 11:30, but we started late, so we can go.
Don't indulge me in that direction, because by 1 o'clock you'll still be here.
Okay, I'm giving you 19
Okay.
minutes.
Can we move on?
Mhm.
At least let's finish with Lucifer and start fresh
Okay.
next
Okay,
time
Lucifer
about the
is cast
humans.
down to hell, then usurping Adam's rulership position over the earth, making it the residence of fallen angels and his.
The earth becomes residence of fallen angels.
Even in Revelation, we can see how Lucifer is cast down to hell, not earth. Then he conquered earth's ruler, took over earth, made it his residence, and dragged the fallen angels here on earth. Revelation 12:3 and 4.
Before we go there, so there is a war in heaven. God called out all the angels, and said, okay, I see that some of you are now against me, some of you are with me. Worship my son. You are questioning the sonship of my son. He's my son. And John said, in First John said, if we don't believe the testimony that the Father does about his Son, we make him a liar. So there was a testimony of the Father over the Son, about the Son. It was a moment when the Father needed to make that testimony about the Son. It was one for the angels and one for the humans. I don't know if you realize that, but it was. In Hebrew chapter 1, you read about the testimony of the Father about the Son, saying, He's my Son, worship him. In Matthew and in Luke, I may be wrong, but in Matthew and in Luke, we have the testimony of the Father for the Son for the sake of humans. He's my Son. Today, I have given birth to you. The testimony is given to both humans and angels. And John is saying, if you don't believe that testimony, when God said that this is my Son and he's God and worship him, then you make him a liar. That's what happened back there. So we have the war, we have the conclusion of the war, we have the request of the Father saying, hey, worship him. That's how I'm dividing between those who obey and trust me and those who don't. Those who want continue to be under my, or you want to be with Lucifer. Some of them decided they are not going to worship Jesus. So 1/3 of the angels are gone. And then we have in Revelation something that is very interesting. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9 is here. No, it's 3, 4. So it's here.
So the great dragon was cast out.
Yes. No, here. Here we go. Start with verse 7.
And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail. Nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Okay. So what we get from there, to restore happiness and peace in heaven, God decree, Michael, take your angels and cast them out. If in your life peace, joy, happiness, goodness, wellness is not there, the main thing you need to do is to cast out those who bring them in,
Amen.
bring the mess in.
Amen.
If in heaven that was the resolution, cast them out,
Mm.
how much more on earth does the resolution? That is the resolution of God. Cast them out.
Cast them out.
That is how it is. Now, what also I want to emphasize here is the fact that when Satan was cast to hell from heaven, he was cast out into the second heaven. And that is why heavenly places, when Paul refers to the principality in the dark kingdom located in the heavenly places, he refers to that in the second heaven. There is a second heaven. There is a third heaven where God's residence is. There is the first heaven, which is the heaven of earth, and there is a second heaven where hell belongs to. Moving on, let's move here.
Can you go back real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
It says, so the great dragon was cast out, that serpent who deceives the whole world. He was cast to earth.
Yes.
And you continually point out that he was cast to hell or
Yes.
the second heaven.
Yes. And it's not me pointing out, it's the scripture.
Yeah,
In more
pointing
than
out
one
scripture.
place, the scripture says he was cast out to hell. Then in one place, it says he was cast out to. So in many places, it said it's to hell, to abyss, to everything else but earth. One place says to the earth. Okay.
Why does he call him the dragon here?
Because he's a beast.
It's also what he said.
That's not negative. I'm not saying negative. The cherubims, the seraphims, the thrones, for us, they look like beasts.
Okay.
That's why.
So he just called him a dragon, a beast?
Yes.
Interchangeable?
In the sense that his appearance is not like 100% what you are expecting. It's different. And also he is now in darkness. So he's what we used to be in light.
Have the glory that he used
yes,
to have
what he used to be in light now is ugly, terrible. He used to be beautiful. You know the description in 28, Ezekiel 28 of Lucifer, beautiful colors and stuff. Now there is no life, there is no light in him, there is nothing. So all these ornaments are now ugly.
So are you saying this is a separate occurrence than the fall? Like Jesus says, I saw Satan fall from heaven. So you're saying this is a separate, or this is just a different description of that?
I think it's the same description of that.
Okay.
Jesus said, I was witness to that.
Yeah.
I knew exactly when that happened. I was witnessing when Michael cast them out and fall from heaven into the second heaven. Now, I want to offer you the understanding of revelation. Revelation is, I was in the spirit and I saw, and I was, and suddenly the spirit took me in, and I was in the spirit, and a door was open in heaven, and I saw. Imagine John, what he's saying there is a vision. What is a vision? The closest that we can compare a vision with is like a movie. It's like a movie. You are witness to everything that's happening, but you are not into it. But in a vision that John was, he was into it too. But he was seeing everything like we see in a movie. Now, when you go to a movie, you see this scene of the movie, and then suddenly the scene changes. Until now, this driver is driving a car on highway, and then poof, it's changing, and there is a woman in the laundry room in her home with a kid nearby, and they are discussing, and she's doing laundry. And then poof, the scene changes, and here go, it's a train. So boom, 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 without telling you, hey, I'm going to change this from this. So John is there, and these scenes are moving and changing. Boom, 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 boom. And John tries to keep up with it. Sometimes he's able to do, sometimes he's not able to do it, but he's trying to keep up with it. Then he needs to report on them. Have you ever gone to a movie, 4 or 5 of you, and when you come out from the movie, everyone has a different story talking about that movie, different interpretation, different what they see. That's how. So what the description given by John is not perfect description of what he saw. First of all, it's his point of view, his interpretation, with the words and vocabulary ability to describe it. That's another limitation. But what is important to know is that the sequence changes. And not always John is saying, oh, now I'm on earth. Oh, now I'm on heaven. No. He doesn't tell us all the time that this is
setting.
happening in the settings is in heaven and this is on earth. But what we see here is the change of name. We start with Lucifer and we end up with Satan. Where is Satan? Where is Lucifer known as Satan?
Heaven.
Yes.
Lucifer is heaven, or the spirit heaven, and then Satan is earth.
Yes. So when he talks to the sins that he sees on earth, he sees it like that. So it says, let's read it again.
So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Yes. So the great dragon was cast out. And now he's trying to explain how and where and everything. So keep that in mind when you compare. So if you ask me, what do I choose? Everything, if you think in the terms of God's character, if you think in any terms, you understand that God didn't, I cannot handle Satan. He destroyed my kingdom. He took away 1/3 of my kingdom. He deceived them. I cannot handle him very well. Let me cast them to my children.
And Isaiah clearly says he was
No,
cast to Hades.
that's not God's character. God sent him to a confined area where he can have control over him, and that was hell. The fact that he came to us is revealed in Genesis how that happened. So yes, that's how they got to the earth. Also, if you read in Revelation chapter 12, I think it's right after 9, it's verse 10, 11, it said, woe, woe to you, earth, because Satan came to you, was not cast. Again, the same. It's in the same passage, it's the next saying. The Satan came to you, was not cast to you, he came to you. Woe to you, earth. And then he says, and this is what God does. And he gives us 4 elements so that we can overcome Satan who came to us.
Yeah.
And one was salvation, one is the authority, one is the kingdom, and the last one is the power. So he gave us all of this to overcome.
And why
Satan.
this is important is because it comes down to God's character.
Yes.
Like, that's why this earth versus Hades, it's his character. Like,
And
that's why it's important.
Yes, but study and studied this topic, study from the perspective of sonship, sons called to the entire nature awaits for the revelation of the sons of God, so that we'll be liberated, free. So we, sons of God, we are called to free this world from all the power of the enemy. So how you do that? By casting them out. So you have to manifest in sonship position. You have to manifest power and authority over demons. And so if you don't understand exactly how they came here about, your ability, your entitlement to the authority to cast them out is
like,
diminished.
I have no authority because
Let's
by taking Adam's office, position, and authority over earth, Lucifer, Satan, found his way back to heaven. Job 1, 6-8. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came among them. And the Lord said to Satan, from where do you come? So Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil?
So before we discuss the obvious, I want you to think a little bit. Satan was cast down to hell to be contained there in hell. How is he back to heaven in Job? And how is he back representing the earth? It's just because he took a rulership over the earth.
Well, he took Adam's position.
Yes, he took Adam's position.
To represent earth in heaven.
Yes. And keep in mind that once we are saved, we are in Adam's position. We are in that position,
So
and we should embrace that. 100% we should embrace that. We have to have that in mind, that we are the ruler of this earth. Therefore, kingship is given to us as ruler. The domain is given, and kingdom, the king has a domain and has dominion over that domain. You have dominion, rulership. So that's how how Lucifer actually went back to heaven. So now you understand why Lucifer
He was
decided.
cast out. So how's all of a sudden he back?
Yes, that's the reason. So when Lucifer was saying to God, I want to tempt Adam, Lucifer expressed reason was because it's fair. He needs to face a choice. Just like the angels in heaven face the choice. It's fair. That's his express reason. The deep concealed in his heart reason was, if I'm deceiving him, I take over back in heaven. I'll be back in heaven right away.
I have authority again.
Yes. So if you have asked God, perfect will, would you allow Satan to go? I know exactly why he wants to go there. No. The answer is no. But the angels heard him saying, well, it needs to be fair, freedom of choice. I said, okay, I know what angels think, so let's do it. Let's go ahead with whatever you think is right. So he went away with what we were thinking is right. But the concealed reason of Lucifer was to go back to heaven. Why? He wanted to continue to have influence over the. And again, why is it that he wants to have still influence over the angels in heaven? He already deceived 1/3. He has his share. Why he wants to? Because he knows there are angels that are still debating. Therefore, the reason for the judgment. Therefore, the need of God to allow Satan to expose whatever evidences he has. Therefore, the need for whatever is happening on earth. Therefore, that gives the explanation of everything. The fact that Lucifer wants back access to heaven to continue to have influence over the. It means that he knows there are struggling angels that they said, you know what? I'm not 100% sure that Lucifer is right, but I'm not 100% sure that God is right. But based on my history with God, I stick with God. Unless someone gives me another, that's my position.
And so then Satan comes and attacks sonship. He says, I've been going to and fro.
Yeah.
You know, these sons, they don't seem so good.
So sons, yes,
And
of
then
God.
God says, have you considered Job?
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Is that no?
2 minutes.
Oh, do you have any question? Let's pick up a question. I don't know if I want to finish with Lucifer before we go to.
Yeah.
Yes, finish it.
I covered this, the word again here. Again, so in Job chapter 1, let's go. In Job chapter 1, Lucifer comes first time. The sons of God are gathered. Job chapter 2, again. That emphasized the fact how fragmented these meetings were. Because Satan was just a representative, one of the other sons of God that met there. So very fragmented they met, which implies that Adam might have been attending those meetings before he fell.
Sorry, I'm a little slow, but it says the sons of God. Who were the sons of God?
Position.
The book of Job is written from human perspective, how human sees angels, and because they were so like with God, they assume they must be sons of
yeah.
God. So that's why. It's like
in with the sons of God slept with the daughters of men.
Yeah, direct creations of God is
Yeah.
the actual word that's used there.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
in Genesis, Abraham sees angels, and they were looking like alike, and then suddenly he made the distinction. Oh, this must be the angel of the Lord because, but they were kind of alike. So if this is God, and these are alike, they kind of must be sons of God. But yeah, the same book of Job said that angels are servants. The same book says that they are servants. So there is no discussion that the truth is there, but the saying is different. I think we covered this. Yeah, we covered this too. Can we read this?
In the beginning, Lucifer attacked the proposed sonship of man, but at one point during his canvassing of opposing arguments, Lucifer took the fight in a surprising direction, questioning the character of God.
So he started by questioning the plan of God and ended by questioning the character of God. You know how this is a trick that lawyers use. You have a witness that is destroying your case. What you do? you go and
Affect
destroy the
character.
character.
Mm.
To put questions in the jury's mind in regarding the testimony. You cannot attack the testimony. There are evidences, everything is there. But you question the character, then you indirectly question the evidences. That's exactly what Lucifer did. God is saying this and this and this and this. Let's see. Let's see about God. Is it God exactly how you think it is? He is? And on it
I'm
goes.
out.
Yeah. Okay.
She got you.
Tomorrow we are going to cover the last element in that diagram, which are the humans, the sonship of humans.
Oh wow, it's interesting.
We didn't even arrive to the sonship.
We're still laying a foundation, huh?
Yeah. But I think after all of this, you might have agree with me in 30%, 40%, 50% of what I'm saying here, but you still have a better foundation to understand sonship on its roots, rather than just surface. I'm a son of God. Oh yeah, I'm a son of God. Yeah.
Well,
And when it comes to your life, there is no evidence whatsoever that you feel or you are a son of God.
Praise God.
You have to have the evidence.
That was humble. The 30%. That was.
Hmm?
He's like, I'll take 30%.
You gave us 30%. You're like, you might
Sonship.
agree with 30%.
Sonship is more than a son; it's a
16, 17.
position.
It's an office.
Authority.
Yeah, it's an office. It's an office by definition. Sonship, it's
We
office.
talked about this in yesterday's
We on
class,
earth,
but
when you say, "Oh, you're a son of
he
that
said,
one," it
remember, if
doesn't
you
mean a
read
lot.
Hebrews a bunch,
But
what did your
for the